name is Kate. I just turned 35 years old in September, and right before I turned 35, I was diagnosed with what doctors said at least stage 3 breast cancer, and that meant that they had found other sites that were suspicious, and on Halloween it was confirmed that it is indeed stage 4 breast cancer, as has moved to other parts of my body. I am a mom of 2 wonderful little humans, a boy and a girl. I'm married and have been for 7 years. I work with children with disabilities, and I'm currently actually getting my master's in applied disabilities. Back in 2002, when I had my daughter, when I was breastfeeding, I kind of felt a lump. I was like, something's, but with breastfeeding, it could be a clogged milk duct, it could be God knows what. But I still went to the doctor and I was like, hey guys, what's up? Like, I have a little something going on. And the doctor at the time let me have an ultrasound, however, stating I was too young for a mammogram. So the ultrasound found a 4 millimeter mass that they said it was a cyst, and I was just, too young for a mammogram. There was no reason for a biopsy. No way it could be cancer. And they kind of just said, let's monitor it as it goes along. And I mean, I kind of hate myself now, punch myself now for not pushing a little bit more. But, a doctor says it's a cyst, it's a cyst. And then in 2023, it kind of got bigger. And I went back. I'm like, hey, guys, it's getting bigger. What's going on? So November of 2023, it was a 2 to 3 centimeter mass. And I had told the doctor. And again, they told me that it's a cyst. I shouldn't worry. They asked me, is it bothering you? I'm like, well, it's not like yelling at me. It's obviously not bothering me. It's just, it's there. I've noticed it. But yeah, they said no mammogram necessary. I'm too young. No biopsy necessary. You're too young. It's just a cyst. Let's monitor it. So in January, I had another ultrasound. This is 2024 at this point. And now at this point, it was 5 to 6 centimeters. And again, the radiologist said it was a cyst. Didn't recommend any follow-up. My doctor went with that, saying that there's no reason for a follow-up, such as a mammogram or a biopsy, as I'm too young and it's just a cyst. So at that point, in July of 2024, I was given a mammogram, a biopsy, and an ultrasound. And by that point, the mass was 15 centimeters and had invaded my chest wall, my skin, my lymph nodes, and now I know moved to the lymph nodes in my lungs. But it was a 2 and a something year process with this lump that nobody would listen to me, that it was more than just a cyst. But along the path, I had also developed high blood pressure, really severe anxiety and insomnia, which was, you're a mom of 2 and you're going to school. Obviously, you have insomnia. And then you're a mom of 2 going to school. Obviously, you have high blood pressure. But now, as I'm talking to an oncologist, I'm understanding that these were my body's red flags and symptoms coming out, just saying, hey guys, there's something wrong. But I was being treated for the symptoms and not the root cause, which had been this cancer. So now in July, when I finally got the results, it was August, but in August they had confirmed that it was cancer. And then my surgeon and oncologist believe that it's been about 2 or so years of it developing. And when I had found it originally, probably was what they called a DCIS, which is like a pre-cancer, that it could have been treated earlier. I just knew. Like, I think I knew this whole time. And then it was a week off from school and camp for my son. So I don't know why I thought it'd be a good idea to bring my 6-year-old to this appointment, but I was like, maybe it's good news. So we're sitting there and I'm like, okay, like give it to me and give it to me straight. And the doctor kind of looks at me. She's like, it is cancer. And she hands me a tissue and I'm kind of like, cool. How are you guys going to explain it to me now, kind of thing? Like, I wanted more of an explanation how we got here. Like, I didn't cry. I didn't get upset. I really just wanted to know how we got here and why are we here. The only thing is that at the time of my biopsy, they had taken, I guess, a wrong part or not enough tissue. And they had been saying that it's not invasive, it's not malignant. Like, it just wasn't an appropriate diagnosis at first. So at the very beginning, when I heard that, I was like, oh, there's still like all this hope. Like, maybe it's just, I didn't even think I'd need chemo at that point. The way they made it sound, that it was like, oh, we'll just, we'll remove it and it's precancerous and maybe we'll just remove this big lump and everything's going to be okay. So I think on that day I was still okay. The day that met with the surgeon and he did a physical exam and he was started talking about double mastectomy, possible hysterectomy, chemo, radiation, I was like, wait, whoa, 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 let's rewind. I thought it was like, just let's remove it and get on with our lives. And then I just was in shock. And at that point, my surgeon had requested a repeat biopsy to get the appropriate tissue that he had wanted. And that's when they confirmed that is at least stage 3 and has invaded various parts of the breast tissue. And chemo was like, when I met with my oncologist, it was a Wednesday, and he was like, you have to come back tomorrow and start. Like, we can't postpone this any further. I went in on Wednesday, I met my oncologist. By Thursday morning, I was in treatment. The plan was four of one treatment plan, and then like a chemo, and then four of a different chemo. So 8 altogether every 2 weeks on a Thursday. And then he said, once that's done, I would do a double mastectomy and then I would have radiation. However, he did let me know that stage 4 patients often get treated differently because of their stage 4. So at that point, there were suspicious sightings on my hip bone and my lung lymph nodes. So he said if either one of those come back positive, makes me stage 4, and the treatment plan may change. So I had recently finished 50% of chemo. Yay. Really excited. But on the same day I did my 50% of chemo, I found out I was stage 4. So the doctor at that day, it was my mom and my husband in this office, and he gave us the news. I can be emotional, but my husband's very emotional. He started crying. He's got very sad. And then I was just like, okay, what does that mean? So the doctor said that I could withdraw from treatment right then and there. So just like active aggressive treatment, and then start palliative care, which from my understanding, it's oral medication that you take to prolong your life. But because he said it was only one site and my age, I was also given the option to continue with this aggressive treatment, finish my other courses, do the mastectomy, do radiation, do concentrated radiation on the lung lymph nodes that they found. And then it was very aggressive, and there was no guarantees, I suppose, right? With stage 3, they cure it. With stage 4, they keep you alive. So he left the room for a couple of minutes, and then we just kind of, me, my mom, and my husband looked at each other. We're like, yeah, we're fighting. I'm not taking palliative care at 35 years old. So I will continue doing chemo. I have 4 more left, and I will have scans. Then I will have mastectomy, and I will have radiation because I'm quite determined to fight this off. There's hair loss, as you can see. I have no hair. My husband shaved it off. It's like a few days after. The day of is really bad. I'm really sleepy. I want to lay down. And then there's this injection you had to give yourself on the third day that promotes, I guess, white blood cell growth. And that is probably the worst of it because my bones hurt and I'm super sleepy. So on the third and fourth day, I'm mainly just out, not being able to get up out of bed. But other than that, exhaustion. I call it chemo fog, where sometimes I just don't know what's going on. Like I get confused, like somebody is talking to me and I have to like really focus to understand what's happening. Or like if I'm driving, I was driving, following my husband, and then somebody honked at one point, and I'm like, I honestly don't know if I ran a red light. Like I can't recall. Like it's this like I'm in this little fog. But you can see right now, like this is like my 10th day, so I'm kind of like back to normal. I can get up, I can do stuff, I can do groceries. So there's lots of ups and downs, but overall, and you know what? My nails, for some reason, really long nail growth. I don't know why, but my nails won't break, and I've never had nails. I'm a nail biter, but they're just growing. No, I'm not allowed to take anything like that. It's only, but maybe it's the injection that makes like my white blood cells grow. That's also making my bones strong. I don't know, but weird side effect. Long nails. Yeah, I have no hair. Eyelashes have fallen out, but I got nails. It was harder than I thought. I was like, it's just hair. But then before chemo, I thought maybe I'd cut it to like shoulder length to maybe make it less dramatic for me and my children. So on my 35th birthday, I was going to get one of my girlfriends, and we were going to have a couple drinks and have like a hair cutting party. I thought it was a great idea. But one of my other friends was like, absolutely not. This is not happening. We're not doing this. She took me to a salon. I'm like, Natalia, I'm going to lose my hair. Like, let's not do this. She's like, no, you deserve it. We're not letting you go to a hair cutting party where everybody's having drinks. So she took me to a salon. So I cut it to like shoulder length. So that was my first step to like get with it, which I actually really liked. I look cute with short hair. And then on I honestly thought it would take a little bit longer. I've heard people that do 3 treatments before their hair starts falling out. But literally on day 14 from treatment number 1, I was brushing my hair and it was like just chunks. And I just was bawling because I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. It's like, I don't know, doing treatment with my hair just was, it just felt different. It was like, I'm still okay. I'm still me. But once those chunks started falling out, it was really tough. I'm starting to get emotional now thinking about it. It's like, especially I think for a woman, it's part of you, right? You style it, you wash it, you brush it, you color it, and it's who you are. So I got a playlist of like Britney Spears songs and Christina Aguilera songs and Kelly Clarkson songs, and my husband was going to shave it for me. So we turned on some music and got my kids involved. I don't know if to laugh or to cry.
Let's laugh. We can cry later.
It's a very emotional time. And then when he did just shave, like buzzed it, I was fine for a few days. And then I went to the shower and the little pricklies started falling out. And that was a whole other, I guess, tear bomb coming out. Because I'm like, maybe those little things would have stuck around. They didn't. It was all over my neck. Excuse me. All over my neck, my shoulders. So then we had to do like a razor shave. And that was another tear fest. But now I'm okay. They were suggesting hysterectomy because I guess there's also different subtypes of the cancer, and there's hormone positive and hormone negative ones. So my subtype is hormone positive. So I guess just having all your female reproductive organs produces more hormones. So that's just something that was brought up as a future possible to help. They're like, if you want to, you can like freeze your eggs. It would have made my treatment start later, which I really also didn't want. But my husband and I had talked about it. And I mean, we have 2 wonderful kids, and my husband's over 40. He's like, I'm exhausted. I'm pretty tired too. So we're kind of just like, you know what? I think we're okay. Let's just leave it at 2. Part of me is kind of, again, sad because you're losing part of what makes you a girl. And like, I have pretty nice boobs, I think. So I'm like, you're going to take them away. But I also am like, if they stay and I don't live that long for my little kids, like I'd take it all. Like take the boobs, take the female reproductive organs, like take whatever you need to take to just be able to survive, to see my kids grow up. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am sweet.
I am sweet.
I can't even imagine not like dancing with my son at his wedding, or like not going shopping with my daughter when she moves out, and not, listening to her cry about her first breakup. Like I can't imagine. And also my husband had really bad taste in women previously. I can't imagine who he'd remarry. And he cannot take care of himself. Like he asked me where the pizza was in the fridge the other day, and he just stood there. He's like staring at it. I'm like, did you move anything to look for this pizza? He's like, no, where's the pizza? I don't see it. Who would take care of him? They need me. So I need to stay for them 110%. They need snacks. They need to be put to bed. They need to pack lunch. I have to drop them off at school. I have to pick them up. It gives me more energy because I gotta move. I'm still moving. And I thought that they would be more like scared to look at me, and they don't even care. They don't notice it. They see mommy. The only thing that makes me really sad for them to have to see that, like, no 6-year-old should have to go to school and be like, my mommy has cancer. And I keep in touch with this teacher closely just to make sure there's no, I guess, emotional negative consequences of all this that he's displaying in class, but he's doing very well. It keeps me going.
Mommy has cancer. She's not gonna be weak. She's not gonna be strong. She's gonna be badass.
I did do a genetic test, but hasn't come back yet. They did a blood test. But my mom had ovarian cancer 6 years ago, but she did a genetic test and they told her that it was just a gene mutation. So I don't know about that. I don't understand medicine that much. But in January of 2024, when I had done one of my ultrasounds, when I was told it was a cyst, my paternal aunt, who lives in Ireland, also did an ultrasound because she had a cyst, and she ended up finding out that she has breast cancer. I just don't want it to happen to anybody else. I keep telling people it just didn't have to be stage 4, and it could have been stage 1 2.5 years ago. It could even probably have been stage 3 in January when it was 5 centimeters. And I want people to know, and I want, when you like feel yourself and you feel a lump and you go to the doctor and they say, "Ugh, it's just a cyst," you're like, no, I want to get a test. I want to get a mammogram. I want to get a biopsy. It's my body, not yours. I'm going to be in pain from this biopsy, not you. I want it. I deserve it. I demand it. And catch it earlier. I've always say to my friends, like, tell people, like, my friend of a friend, or tell my sister, you use me to say, my friend happened to my friend. I don't want it to happen to you. I actually have a couple of people on my husband's work who have booked mammograms since this happened to me, and also people at my work who have gone back to the doctors and demanded some mammograms just to get a baseline mammogram even. So I feel good about that it's already making a little bit of a difference. I don't want it to happen to anybody else. I hear a lot of people say, like, I'll travel when my kids are older because it's so hard now, or I'll start, going on dates with my husband again when the kids move out. Like, it's all about the kids now. Or, oh, when we retire, we'll see the world. Or, we'll decorate for Christmas next. Actually, I was that person. Was like, we'll decorate for Halloween next year because that $100 is just, could be spent on groceries. And like, don't be that person anymore. Do it today. Like, decorate for Halloween. Go. I had been having a white Christmas tree because it's expensive to buy a new Christmas tree for 3 years. This year I was like, no, I want a green one. And I don't care. We're going to buy a green Christmas tree because I don't know what tomorrow brings. So you don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know, unfortunately, if you'll have a retirement. I might not. And I don't want to wait till retirement. And you shouldn't. Travel now. Take your kids somewhere now. Yeah, they might scream on a plane, but who cares? It'll be fun. And go on a date with your husband now and hire that babysitter now. I thought that I never thought that this would happen. You never think it's going to happen to you, but it can, and you don't know. So do it now, right now, tomorrow. Book this trip, book a flight. Just enjoy your life right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. If you have a lump, go to the doctor, and don't let the doctor gaslight you. That's I think my other big message is a lot of doctors, they're human too, right? And they're busy and they have a lot of patience. And if you don't advocate for yourself, they see a million of us. So just fight for yourself as hard as you would want somebody else, like a doctor you would want to fight for you. Fight for yourself first.